So one thing that has been very prevalent in the gaming community ever since, I guess the launch of these new consoles is broke shaming. I'm sure that was something that happened even before these new consoles came out, but it's been prevalent, very prevalent since they came out. And that's exactly what I want to talk about in today's video. So without further ado, let's get right into the video. So recently I'm going through Twitter and I see a tweet that I can only describe as completely insane. It's a guy who's saying that people who are complaining about $70 games probably shouldn't be gaming anyway. He says a lot more than just that, but all of it is really nonsense, and this is the part that I really want to focus on to begin with. Because it sounds like he's implying that if I were to complain about a game being $70, then that must mean I'm not quote-unquote financially stable. Well, listen, I'm not going to sit here and lie and say I'm rich or anything, because I'm most certainly not. But when I see someone say, oh, I don't want to spend $70 on so-and-so game, my initial reaction isn't, oh, that person must be poor. No, my initial reaction is, oh, that person is showing self-restraint and not purchasing something that they don't personally deem to be worth the asking price. Like for me personally, I was super opposed to games going $70 for the longest time, but at the end of the day I realized, well, this is something that's going to happen whether I like it or not. Yeah, right now it's just Sony and a few other publishers like Take-Two and Activision and EA, but listen, the ball is rolling on this stuff already, and I'm not going to sit here and pretend that Microsoft or any other publisher isn't going to eventually do the exact same thing, because they 1000% will. And once I came to that conclusion, I switched my mentality from, oh, $70 games are bad, to, okay, is this game worth $70 to me personally? Before $70 games were a thing, within the past, 15 to 20 years, because back in the 90s, $70 games were a thing. Just look at an N64. They had tons of really expensive games. But before the $70 games that we know today, there have been plenty of games that I bought for $60 that I would have been happy to buy for $70. Experiences that basically shaped who I am as a gamer. I'm talking about like Halo 3, I'm talking Skyrim, I'm talking Red Dead 1 and 2. Grand Theft Auto 4. There's games that I would have happily given out $70 to buy and play those experiences. But on the same token, if you were to ask me if a game like, I don't know, GTA 5 was worth $70 to me, I would have told you no. Since the start of this generation, I've purchased tons of games at that $70 price tag. And that's because I sat back and did my research and decided for myself that I deemed those games to have that sort of value for me personally. But there's also been plenty of games that are $70 that I just laugh at the idea of buying, because for me personally, I don't see the value. See, I'm not buying everything that is $70 just to prove that I can do that financially. You see, people online love to act like the problem that people have with games being $70 is the fact that they can't afford them. Well, dude, guess what? If someone goes out and buys a $500 Xbox Series X or PS5, I think that in most cases, they probably aren't strapped for an extra $10 when it comes to buying or not buying a game. The problem that most people have with $70 games is that we aren't seeing quality the way we used to, and the quality certainly hasn't gone up a notch with this price increase. I think a good example of this is Horizon Forbidden West, and let me be very clear. I want to be very clear. I'm not saying that the game isn't a quality game. I've loved what I've played of it so far. It's a very good game, a very huge improvement on the first game, by the way, both in terms of its story and moment-to-moment gameplay. But are we really gonna pretend that it's a more quality game than, I don't know, The Last of Us Part 2? Forbidden West is a $70 game. Meanwhile, I bought The Last of Us Part 2 at launch for $60. Both are great games, but come on, man. The Last of Us Part 2 is just on a different level than Horizon Forbidden West. And you can like Horizon Forbidden West more than you liked Last of Us Part 2. Lots of people do. In fact, I would probably say that I like Forbidden West more than I liked Last of Us Part 2, just because that's my preference. But in terms of simply the quality of the game, Horizon Forbidden West isn't as quality or more quality than The Last of Us Part 2 to justify its $10 price increase. But we're not going to just sit here and pretend like it's all Sony's fault, because this goes to third party too, like Take-Two, EA, and Activision. So let's talk about a third party publisher for a second. Take-Two Interactive. See, I pre-ordered Tiny Tina's Wonderlands on Xbox, and I'm super hyped for this game. The gunplay is always banging in Borderlands games, and they have the heavy focus on co-op for this game, which has me excited to play it with friends. But it's a $70 game. Does that mean it's of a higher quality than a game like, I don't know, let's just say Red Dead Redemption 2? Another Take-Two Interactive published game? Are you starting to see what I'm getting at? All I'm saying is that it's up to each individual to do the research and decide what experience is worth that amount of money to you. But just because you might think that every game is worth $70 doesn't mean that someone who disagrees with you means that they're broke or poor or anything like that. It probably just means they're a human being with a different taste in games than you, and they make decisions based on the things they like or don't like, which is something that adults do. But that's all I really wanted to say with this video. It's just a topic that I've seen so much of since $70 games became a thing, and it's sad to say that a lot of this is just people blindly defending a price increase because it's their favorite company doing it. And really, it's just always been cringe to me to stick up for something that directly negatively impacts you just because your favorite company is the one doing it. If you've followed me for any period of time, you know I'm primarily an Xbox channel, but you're never gonna see me get on here and cap for Xbox when they do something I don't like. Just like I'll give Sony all the praise they deserve when they do something I do like. And right now, I don't love the idea of $70 games, but realistically, it's the way the industry is going, whether I like it or not. So all I can do for myself is decide what I'm putting my $70 down on. Because what I deem to be worth $70 might not be worth $70 to someone else. And that's absolutely fine. That's just the way the world works. People are different. But I want to hear what you guys think. I know you've all seen this broke shaming within our community, and I want you to sound off on it in the comments. What are your thoughts on this mentality that so many people online seem to have, and what are your personal thoughts on $70 games? Leave a comment below and let me know what you're thinking. Leave a like if you liked the video, and please remember to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell if you're enjoying the content and want to stay up to date on all my latest videos. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.